yesterday was the 123rd Tournament of Roses parade, right? Happens every single year. And Occupy protesters decided to take this great opportunity to, make themselves better known. So they decided to create a human float that would follow all of the other floats during the parade.
God bless.
The only issue is that the media refused to cover it.
Yeah.
Which isn't too much of a surprise because that's what we've noticed time and time again with the Occupy movement. But I love their effort. And again, I've said this before, but I like the fact that even though they've been evicted from all of these different parks throughout the country, they're still finding creative ways to protest.
And in fact, they're saying Rose Bowl parade.
I jump in it.
Literally. And there was 300 to 400 of them. There was a 250-foot banner of the Constitution, which I love. And then they had a 70-foot octopus.
Which didn't make any sense, but I love it.
No. Here's what they're referring to. The vampire squid of Goldman Sachs. Matt Taibbi wrote about how they're the great vampire squid that's sucking all the money out, and et cetera. And hence that's what they're referring to. And it was made out of recycled plastic grocery bags.
Right.
So they're still keeping it green, right? But look, the reason I loved it is they didn't do anything wrong. In fact, the cops were there and they're like, well, they're actually totally allowed to follow the float as all the other citizens are. So they didn't arrest anyone because they didn't do anything wrong at all. And then when you think about why the media didn't cover it, was it newsworthy? Definitely. Was it someone breaking the law you don't want to encourage? No, right? It's not like they were streaking or anything like that. They don't cover the streakers during baseball games because they don't want to encourage it. But there's nothing wrong with this. Mm-hmm. The only reason they didn't cover it is because they didn't get paid to cover it. It wasn't commercial. Everything else in the Rose Bowl parade is massively commercial, and they have rights to it, and they do this, and there's contracts, and they're like, these guys come in here without a contract and want to be on TV because what? Oh, they want to protect, they want to do First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, protesting the government. No, we have no interest in that. Hey, if Tostitos was sponsoring you, then we might have a different conversation. Right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And also think about the local news stories that are covered in Los Angeles. Okay, they're garbage. They're like the worst news stories on the planet, all local news, right? So something like this, which is actually newsworthy, and there's actually something that you can do some real analysis on, they completely ignore. It's maddening.
While the Wells Fargo float was going by, they unrolled a banner that said "Stop Foreclosures," and that got on TV. That is not to be tolerated. Police immediately tore it down. No, be pro banks, okay? Don't be anti banks. Yes, Steve.
Just a quick note. I heard on NPR this morning they did cover it. They said that the Occupy Wall Street float got tons of applause that everyone cheered for.
And except the people that were making the decisions on the television stations, who were like, oh, the riffraff, and people cheering for that nonsense.
See, this is why I love NPR. Like, even though sometimes they'll have a guy playing a banjo in the background while they're doing their news stories, at least they cover stories like that.
Well, and that's exactly why the Republicans want to tear them down. That's why Mitt Romney was talking about how Big Bird is going to have to get advertising sponsors now, and they won't fund things like NPR. You know how much NPR gets from federal money? $5 million. What a joke. I mean, that's such a small sliver of the budget that it's not even worth. In fact, the Congressional Budget Office said it is basically a non-event. Like that if you cut the entire NPR budget, it would do. In fact, if you cut the entire NPR and PBS budget, it would have, quote, no effect on the budget at all, right? And Mitt Romney complains about $5 million going to NPR, while he and his friends gave $800 billion in tax cuts to the richest people in America through the Bush tax cuts again in 2010.